Hello, I'm Dhruvi Bhatt.
Hello, I'm Shruti Rahul.
How was your flight today?
Yeah, it was nice but quite exhausting too.
Okay, are you staying here for a day or two? I'll show you around.
No, sorry, I have to leave tonight.
So we have very less of time for our negotiation. Let's get down to business then.
Sure.
Okay, we are going to offer you a proposal which I'm sure you will not be able to deny at all.
No, I think I have to go through your proposal as well as others' proposals. So I think you have to wait until
But we are offering you such nice prizes that your company will not be able to deny at all.
Yeah, sure, you are offering me nice prices, but still I have to run down through my higher authorities, your as well as others' proposals. So I think that's quite a tough of competition.
Okay, but we have these prizes which you will not be able to deny at all. Let's get down to the proposal. Okay, I'll explain you my proposal and I'm sure we would be having a win-win situation today. Thank you. Hello there students. This is your instructor Ms. Dhruvi Bhatt, and as you would have guessed, today we would be discussing about one more oral technical communication, that is negotiation skills. Okay students, what is negotiation? We would learn about the technical terms and technical briefs in just a minute, but right now you need to understand that negotiation is a type of discussion between two people where they both will come to a consensus or to an agreement about one particular objective. Okay, so there can be different types of negotiations. For now we would be more concentrating on business negotiations. Okay, you just saw me and my colleague Shruti Rahul talking about negotiations. We tried our hand on little bit of acting. I know we are not good, but it's okay. So we were trying to prove the point. I wanted you to practically see the negotiation before we got into the technical details or the theoretical details of it. Okay, students, as you saw, practically make sure that you follow whatever we did in this negotiation process. Okay, firstly, whenever you meet your negotiator, you will greet him or her with introducing yourself with your name. After that, you will try to break the ice between both of you with little bit of informal communication. I tried to break the ice using informal communication, asking her that how was her flight, or how was her day, or is she staying here for many number of days, or she is leaving the country. Okay, you can use such kind of questions. You can use questions like how do you find the weather today. You can use questions like okay, how do you find my country? Did you visit some of the famous places? Where did you go? How did you spend your previous 2 days? Or if your negotiation meeting is after lunch or dinner, what did you have for lunch? Or how was your dinner? How is your hotel you are staying at, etc. These can be the phrases which can be used to firstly break the ice between the two of you, because whatever the negotiation you are going to do is very important to your organization and to their organization. So first, start by breaking the ice between the two of you. After you do so, make sure that you make a smooth transition. To transition to the actual discussion, you can use words like, okay, now then let's get down to business, or let's talk business, or you can say, okay, so let's get to the point and let's start talking about the negotiation. Okay, or okay, then let's sit down and talk about the business deal. Okay, you can use such phrases to make a transition from informal communication to the actual business communication or to the actual proposal whichever you are giving. Okay, so that was the stage where you will then move or transition to the business proposal. After that, you will make your intentions clear. In the video, I made my intention clear that I wanted to close the deal today itself, but the second party also made her intention clear that she cannot close the deal today. She will have to run through my proposals and she would have to talk to the higher authorities about the proposal before getting back to me. So students, here if I would have told her that okay, no, I cannot wait for the decision of your higher authorities, then she might have left the negotiation process. So here I needed to listen to her cues very carefully. I must understand that now I should not force, okay, I should take a back step. I should not force her to take the decision now itself, as she has already made her intention clear that they are still in exploratory process and they will decide it upon a later date. So I'll comprehend and I would just start with my proposal. As I have called for the meeting, my next stage would be I would now introduce the proposal to her and it would be upon her to discuss upon terms and ideas. This is how negotiation process takes place in the real business world, students. In the business worlds, actually they negotiate upon different things, like some contracts, some lease agreement, or any such business procedures, any such third party contracts, any contracts for raw materials, etc. Okay, let's get down to business now and talk about the definition of negotiation. Negotiation is derived from Latin word negotiatus, which means carrying out business. Okay, you cannot carry out any business without proper negotiation, students, because in everyday business as well as in your personal life, you will have to run across different ideas and will have to convince different people for different things, which will require a negotiation process. When two people differ in their ideas or ideologies, they need to sit down and they arrive at a consensus or agreement using the process of negotiation. So negotiation is nothing but discussion between two people where they would share their opinions, ideas, and at the end of the discussion they will arrive at some conclusion or some agreement. So that is what negotiation is. Students, negotiations do not take place only in the business. You negotiate with your friends each day, you and your friends sitting and deciding that which movie to watch. Okay, that is also negotiation. I would be thinking more of a rom-com and she would be thinking more of a sci-fi. We would negotiate the pros and cons of both types of movies and we would reach to the consensus at the end before watching the movie. That is also negotiation. Okay, you calling your mother and she tells you to visit her on Saturday and you are of the opinion that Saturday I need to go out with friends. I will visit you on Sunday. So you both discussing about whether to visit on Saturday or Sunday is also negotiation. There are numerous examples of negotiation. You would go to a wholesaler to buy something and you negotiating upon price. Okay, he offers you some other price and I offering some other price is also negotiation. Okay, so these are different examples of negotiation. Let us move further and try to understand that what are different stages of negotiation. Okay students, let us move on and start discussing each of the phases. The first stage is preparation of negotiation. Students, any good thing is bad without preparation. Okay, as I told you, like presentation needs planning, so does negotiations. Okay, negotiation will require very high amount of planning. You must be very well prepared with all types of scenarios before you go out for negotiation. First and foremost thing which you want to decide is your position. Okay, is your position, that how important is this negotiation process is for you. What if you do not get the contract? What if they do not agree upon your terms? What is the maximum and minimum limit to which you can agree upon? Okay, what is a deal breaker? Okay, what are the things which you cannot accept at all? Answers to all these what ifs must be very clear to you before you go forward for the negotiation. So prepare well, do your homework well, do your research well, and then you are good to go for the next step. Our next step is obviously discussing. Here you come down, you both sit down for the actual discussion, the actual proposal. As we were both sitting down for the discussion process, here you both will reach to each other and talk about the pros and cons of the dealings. You will talk about different agendas, different principles which you can except and which you cannot. Okay, so you will discuss there all the terms related to the negotiation, and at the end of the discussion you both will reach to a conclusion. Okay, our third stage would be to propose. After you finish your discussion, you will propose the final deal, you will propose the final bargain, that okay, this is my final proposal, either take it or leave it. That is the final proposal there, which you would carry forward, that this is the proposal which I offer to you today. Okay, if you have called upon the meeting of negotiation, then you will start with the proposal. If someone else has called, then the other party will call for the proposal. Okay, the next step would be to bargain. Okay, the fourth step is to bargain. Here both you and the other party would talk about their terms. Obviously they would think about terms in which they would be winning, you would think about the terms in which you would be winning. So you both will talk with each other and would bargain at some end. Students, negotiation and bargaining are two different processes, though bargaining is one of the stage of negotiation where you listen to other party, where you try to reach to a consensus taking into consideration their ideas too. But bargaining and negotiation are not same. Remember this. For example, students, if I tell you that I have this presenter and this costs you maybe 1500 rupees, okay, then you tell me that no ma'am, give it to me in 1000 rupees. This is bargaining. What is negotiation? I tell you that this is the presenter for 1500 rupees. You would tell me that ma'am, I want 70 presenters for all my staff, so please give it to me in lesser price with because I am purchasing quite in bulk. Okay, so here this is negotiation where you created a win-win situation for both the parties. You told me, you showed me my benefit that I'll be able to sell more presenters, and you showed your benefits that because I am able to sell more presenters, I must be selling in lesser price. So this is actually negotiating, students. So both of you will bargain upon the terms. They will tell you their terms, you will tell them your terms. Okay students, let's talk about different negotiating styles. This is the last topic for negotiations and this is an important one here. So let us understand different negotiating styles. Okay, depending upon basically two main scenarios based on your assertiveness and based on your cooperativeness, the negotiation styles are defined. Okay, remember one simple thing. Assertiveness means here you are thinking about your winning situation or your benefit. Cooperativeness means here you are thinking about the other party's winning situation or his benefit. Okay, depending upon how much you are thinking about what, different styles of negotiations are classified. We would see each of them in detail, but before that remember that when you will be assertive and when you will be cooperative and when you will not be assertive and not cooperative. Okay, students, you would be more assertive in the scenarios where you think that you have an upper hand. Okay, you would be more thinking about your own benefit when there is a scenario where you are owning some technology or having a patent of something. At that point of time, if someone comes to you to borrow your technology or to use your patent, you have an upper hand here, and so you can be more assertive and you can think about your benefit more. Okay, for example, in the widespread of diseases like corona or like dengue or some other diseases, if they are widespread at a period of time, then the hospitals are having an upper hand at this period and they know that people will shell out how much ever money they ask for. That is why they keep their prices very high. But on the other hand, when there is slack period, when there are no diseases or everyone is more healthy, then hospitals would be at a lower hand and they need to be more cooperative. Here they want more customers. For example, during this corona period, the beauty parlors, the different entertainment industry experts, okay, all those are at lesser benefit, and when they are negotiating price, they would try to cooperate and try to fetch how much ever benefit they can have or they can incur. Okay, like for example, your fridge is, you are an ice cream vendor and your fridge is not working. You need to sell out the products as soon as possible, and that is why you would go for a lesser deal and you would be more cooperative there and less assertive. So remember which style to use when. We will see in each and every style that where they are assertive and where they are cooperative. Starting with the first style here, our first style of negotiation is being competitive. Students, in this style, people are very much assertive but very less cooperative, or we can say non-cooperative in nature. Let us see an example here, students. In this pattern here, they think in the negotiation, one of the party thinks that they are giving out the final deal and the other party can take the deal or leave it. It doesn't make any difference to them. Then it is a competitive negotiation where they are trying to make a deal which is beneficial only to one party who is making an offer or who is making a proposal, and they are not concerned about other party at all. They are not even concerned whether the other party takes the deal or not. They have other customers already ready for them, so they are not at all interested in it. But this style becomes dangerous when you go very wayward, you go to the lens of doing your own loss to make sure that others suffer a loss. Do not do so. Okay, in competitive negotiation, if you do so, I am okay that if I lose, as far as that company also loses. This is a very bad practice because it would put you in danger at this point. Okay, so these are the examples of competitive negotiation styles. We will move forward to the next negotiation style, which is compromising. Okay, this style is, students, a total lose-lose negotiation style. Okay, here you are neither cooperative nor non-cooperative, neither assertive neither non-assertive. Okay, you are somewhere in between where you are not thinking about your gain or the other person's or the other party's gain at all. Okay, you are somewhere in between where you just rely upon compromising. You both parties compromise to a deal which is not very much fruitful. Okay, these are different examples of compromising. Sometimes compromising can be good, whether it is affordable or not, just to maintain good relations, you would compromise a little and you will promise something. Okay, so here both the parties arrive to a consensus just verbally, but actually they both have not agreed upon the point, and that is very dangerous. That actually they have not come to an agreement, but just to complete the meeting, just to arrive at a compromise, even though it is not a win-win situation, they will go with the flow and they would complete the negotiation. This is not a very good style. The third negotiation style is accommodating. In accommodating, students, here this style is non-assertive. You do not think about yourself but very much cooperative. You think about the other party a lot but you do not think about yourself. That is accommodating. It is okay. Sometimes accommodating strategy works well in negotiation. This is the example. Sometimes it works well, but sometimes you may promise something much more than you can achieve. As you can see here, when you promise something just to accommodate someone else's idea or someone else's opinion or someone else's proposal, you go to the lens of promising something which is not comfortable to you. That would be very dangerous. So students, you can use accommodating style in most of the scenarios. Accommodating negotiation style is used when you want to maintain good relation or a long-term relation with your with the other party, with the other negotiator. Okay, whenever you are in this type of scenario, you would like to accommodate more to their ideas and you would lessen down your rules, regulations and your terms. That is accommodating. Moving on to the next type of negotiation style, which is collaborating. This is the best negotiation style, which is a win-win situation for both the parties. Here you are both assertive as well as cooperative, where you think very much about yourself and you think quite about the other party as well. This is the perfect negotiation style here because it would be beneficial for both the parties. As I told you, it would create a perfect win-win situation where both the parties would be very glad, and at the end of the negotiation both the parties would think that they achieved their goal. Okay, so here also you can maintain a very long term relation with the negotiator. Secondly, as it creates a win-win situation, it is maintained for a long term. Okay, the contract is maintained for a long term, and there is a possibility that you would get more such contracts. Moving on to the last style of negotiation styles, and that is avoiding. Here people tend to completely avoid the conversation or completely avoid the negotiation. Here they are not thinking of their benefit, neither they are thinking of other person's benefit. They are both unassertive as well as uncooperative. They want to delay the conversation, delay the negotiation to a point where they do not have to negotiate at all. This is the worst negotiation style. It can be helpful if you are not at the benefit today, but you can be at the benefit at a later point of time. It would be very smart if you use such negotiation style in those scenarios where you know that right now I am having a lower hand, but after some amount of time, after some months, I would be having an upper hand because market is going to change. If this is the point, if this is the scenario, then you can use this avoiding strategy, but otherwise avoiding negotiation styles should not be used. What is the example here? Here the person is trying to avoid the conversation, the phone calls or the actual meet to a later date. It can become very dangerous if you assume things. Okay, by thinking that I do not want to converse at all, I will just I'll just convey it using non-verbal cues, or I'll just convey it using my actions. I do not want to negotiate face to face. This would not work in your favor or neither in other person's favor. So make sure, students, you do not use this style until and unless you are sure that you would be at a higher hand or you would be having an upper hand at a later point of time. Okay, otherwise this is not useful at all. That was all about the negotiation styles, and that was all about negotiations. Thank you so much for such patiently listening to me. This is Dhruvi Bhatt signing off. Until next time, bye bye students. So nice talking to you.